Hello, there's a few things to note when working with element box or what is called content area. Uh, just to show you the demonstration of this, I was just going through some books that I have and just thought it would be a good refresher for myself, and if anybody can benefit from this refresher also would be great. So I have a basic structure here. I have a div and I have p element nested inside div. So div is the parent and p is the child of this div. So both are block level. I've applied some basic styles to div and the p. Uh, Div just center it, gave it margin, gave it the border, and p I put font size, line height, and some padding margin and border as well. So it looks like this. Okay, so the first thing to note is that the content background color or background image, uh, what happens when it gets applied to the content area, and it also applies to the padding. So background color or background image applies to content area, but it also applies to the padding. So what we can do here is we have our p element, say to demonstrate that the background color, just let's apply some background color to p. So I put background, and I already have my color here. Let me grab it here. Okay, so I have background color. Let's see. So the behavior is the background color applies to content area and also applies to padding. So padding we have one em. So let's see. Okay, so we have our color which applies to the content area. Here we see the content, and also applies to the padding because this is the padding as you see. Okay, so this is first. Then next one is a background image. Background image would also apply same as background color. It applies when applied to the this p. It applies basically when applied to block level element like p. So it applies to content area and also applies to the padding. Okay, to demonstrate this, I already have my image here, so we can just do shorthand, like so, URL, and I have my image. And just to demonstrate how it applies to the content area of the element box, so I'll give it the repeat. Okay, so as we see, this is the content area and applies to the content area and also applies to the padding. Whatever this area, it is the padding. This empty area is the padding. So as we can see, the image applies to the content and to the padding. Okay, this is something just to know, good to know. Next one, what is margins? So margins are always transparent, And because margins are transparent, we can see background of the parent element. Okay, so what we can do here, I'm just gonna remove this. And this is the parent, and I'm gonna give the background to the parent. So background color aqua. Okay, let's see what happens here. So I'm giving background color aqua to this parent, and the margin we have on our P, the margin of 1 am. So because this is transparent, this color should be showing through. Let's check. Okay, so this is the parent background, and what we can do here, just to show the margins better, so let's just grab back the color for P, the background color for P. Okay, yeah, so as you can see here we have P, I gave it a border, so margin is a margins come always come after the border, so it's border and then margin. So we have border 5 pixels solid blue violet color, and then margin 1 am. So this is the margin set on a P. So because it's transferred, it's showing this aqua color of the div, of the parent div. Okay, so next one, we have the scenario CSS color property. It sets the foreground color value of the element text. If there is no color set on the border takes actually on the color of the foreground. And to demonstrate this, what we can do is we can put we can remove color from the border here, and see what happens. Okay, so the behavior is the border took on the color of the text, which is the foreground color, but let's change the color of the text just to see the behavior. Let's put like color, I don't know, blue maybe. Okay, so yeah, it took on the color of the text, so it takes on the foreground color. Okay, and another one also to know that border has same background as content and padding. So for example, if we change the border style to say dotted instead of solid, let's put it dotted and see what happens. Okay, so basically yes, it takes on the color of the content. like a background of the content, and padding. Okay. So I hope this was helpful. For me, it was just a refresher because I think it's always good to go through the basics and refresh the basics. And as always, thank you for watching, guys.